so the direct market for comic books
Mm-hmm.
is so my book. Whenever you release comics just in comic shops, you probably know this, but for the general audience, like there's two different worlds that you live in when you actually are releasing something as a book as opposed to a comic. Um, Whenever your trade releases, it goes through the direct market, like the comic shops. So the people that have a comic shop and they go to their local comic shop, they then go to that shop and they pre-order it, or just walk into the shop and see it there, or they put it on their pull list or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's through one distributor called Diamond. There's other distributors nowadays. They used to have a monopoly on the market. That's a part of the whole industry mayhem that's changed since, like, even before COVID, there were these changes that were going on. But back in the day, it was like newsstands how people got comic books. And not to do the whole history, but nowadays it's like mostly Diamond to go through comic shops. And when it comes to trade, you also have another distributor to get it into bookstores. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with my publisher, they're partnered with Simon and Schuster, which is one of the biggest distributors and publishers out there.
Yeah.
And they can get you into virtually any bookstore in the nation because they're another big like corporate conglomerate or whatever. Now, so they through them they also distribute through Amazon. Now,
Got
because Amazon is so easy and they're that one-click method, and so many people, especially that are not into comics or even graphic novels, that they can easily jump on board and just click that button on Amazon. So that's the most highlighted. That's like the link we promote the most, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
because that is the easiest for some. If somebody clicks that link and says pre-order on Amazon, I now get that pre-order through that. It can then it basically it acts like a pre-order the easiest. To whereas if I try to do the same thing through the comic book shops, there's no link for someone's individual comic shop that they go to, and there's no intermediate link to where they just that like finds their comic shop. There are websites that try, like League of Comic Geeks, and even the previews website, like Previews World, that is like the catalog that all the comic shops read, and even read like regular consumers can read as well.
Mm-hmm.
They try to make it to where you can easily click like pre-order now, and then it tries to find the nearest comic shop to you, and then you pre-order through that comic shop. But it's this long, tedious process. There's 3 or 4 clicks. You then have to put in your credit card information and your address.
Yeah.
You're not going to get you're going to lose people right away as soon as you try to send them down that line.
It's not
Anybody,
as streamlined as the Amazon's process.
exactly. So then anybody, whether they're into comics or not, they click that, they're pre-ordered it, and now that pre-order allows me or the publisher to then really visualize how much of a demand that I have, or
Mm-hmm.
that series has, and that demand actually dictates how many books that they print. And it's not the publisher that really decides that; it's the distributors. If the distributor sees, okay, there's 1,000 pre-orders, they'll actually print usually 3 times that. So this is why the pre-order phase is so important for everybody, not just comic books, but authors in general. The print run is dictated by how many pre-orders you get,
Mm-hmm.
and you can generally exaggerate or expand out the times 3 of whatever your pre-orders are, of what you can expect your actual print run to be, and then what your sales can be.
Come on, Benny, man. The kid is a L7 Weenie.